Hey guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. I greatly appreciate them. This is a daily broadcast for all signs, intended originally for Thursday, the 17th of March, but it is to be used whenever you're seeing it, really. You're allowed to, if the message makes sense and you're watching it on a date other than the 17th of March, that's completely fine. Take the message rather than the date. Please check out the drop-down menu below for stuff I just want you to be aware of, like how to follow me on social media if you want to, how to book a private reading, what decks I'm using, all of that stuff, and just like simple things I want you to think about while using my videos, while watching the videos. Please hit the thumbs up button if you enjoy the content. Share the content out on your social media feeds. I would greatly appreciate that. And post it wherever you think it might be best used. And leave a question or comment. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And come and visit daily and see what's going on. This is a collective shared reading amongst all of us. So it may affect us somewhat differently. You need to keep an open mind as you're listening to what I'm saying and apply it to situations where it fits. If it doesn't fit, it ain't broken, right? Like, don't worry, in a sense. If it doesn't fit, it may just not be your reading today, and that's okay. Some days that's not people's readings, and some days it's totally their reading. So you get to make that decision. All right, so let's see what's going on in the cards today. I will be referencing the Sunday readings and cards in the past of this week, building upon what we've seen. So if you see me or hear me talking about that and you want to know which reading I'm specifying about, the Sunday underpinning, which is the reading for the week, which is the energy that's happening kind of in the background or beneath all of this, that might be driving some of this, that will be located in the lower left-hand side of this reading at the end of the reading, right? So let's see what's going on today. So we have Justice. Lady Justice has joined us today. I love it. Beautiful. Sign of Libra, air sign, intellect. Pairs nicely with the underpinning energy of that Page of Swords. And that's from Sunday's midpoint reading, right? And we're at Thursday, so we're just transitioning out of what I consider to be the midpoint into the weekend, right? And the third card that we saw on Sunday, which was Temperance, which is also major arcana, right? And justice, to me, in essence, would be about that swift, sort of decisive awareness that maybe comes to us intellectually or mentally, because Libra is an air sign, right? That clarifies for us whatever it is that we might need to know or bring back into balance so that we can have the Temperance card that we saw in the Sunday reading, right? And that Temperance card is about maintaining the balance that justice here brings to us today. So oftentimes justice can represent something very obvious, like, a court battle moving in your favor or settling out, a decision, an argument coming to an end and the truth being revealed. Basically the scales are being restored. The truth is coming forward in a very profound way, because this is major arcana. There's no hiding from this truth. This truth is being made known to all parties involved, right? Justice is like coming in, cleaning shit up, so to speak. Now, underneath her is that Page of Swords, which also is very much in alignment with her. You can even see she holds a sword here. She's kind of like the queen of all of the swords, above the Queen of Swords, right? She kind of is like the major arcana card that sort of leads all of the swords cards in my mind. But what she is about, she's about truth. She's about honesty. She's about clarity. And whether that honesty, clarity, and truth is within ourselves, like us expressing that to ourselves and establishing or reestablishing balance within our own lives, or if it's about truth and honesty within situations around us within our own lives, that brings things back into balance. We need that, right? Yesterday we saw, I believe, the Six of Swords, correct? Indeed we did. Lots of swords energy. So Six of Swords, like I said yesterday, was about that balancing of the mind, right? And the moving to calmer waters, moving to a better place. We saw Tower earlier in this week. So any sort of disruptions, changes, shifts, this is justice coming in to try and restore us back to a mental sense of awareness, clarity, and peace that we will experience with temperance underneath the next few cards that we see for this week. Does that make sense? I think it does. This situation or these feelings, this clarity should come to you in many different situations, and depending on whatever you're dealing with in your day-to-day life. Each one of you is going to be dealing with something different. Lady Justice is always fair, right? It's not always easy. I'm going to say that. When she's being fair, the truth can sometimes not be easy. And sometimes the truth works in our favor. Oftentimes I see justice as a favorable card, but justice can be about realizations that wake us up in a way or educate us. And the reason why I say the word educate specifically is because of that Page of Swords beneath her today, right? There is this understanding that I think she's bringing to us today, or an awareness, a mental capacity, or like intelligence that we've learned, that we've sought through that Page of Swords energy, through being open to learn, from being attentive, inquisitive, looking, questioning, asking. Why did you do this, Jim? And I'm just using Jim as an example name. Or, I wonder why Steve acted that way. But really asking those questions and then figuring out the answer, either from the person or within the situation or from within ourselves, right? That restores us back to a place of steadiness, balance, clarity, and able to communicate that in a profound way, right? Sometimes I see justice as a silent card, right? Like she doesn't need to necessarily prove her point. She just knows her point. She's kind of like a badass bitch in a way, right? She just sort of comes in, cleans up the mess, restores everything back, and says, okay, guys, this is what we're working with. So if you're having those feelings or that ability to have that sort of clarity today, reap it, like enjoy it. Don't necessarily wield it as a weapon within a situation, or like, if you're having a debate or an argument with somebody, don't be swinging your sword at people. That's not what these cards are telling me this week. These cards are telling me to, the inquisitiveness of the Page of Swords, the calm, the seeking of calm in the Six of Swords, the even the Temperance card that's upcoming in the next few days underneath all of this is saying, just stay in your lane, be calm, be aware, look around you, take in notes, let the situation almost, or the environment indicate to you what is going on in a way, right? And then keep that balance, that clarity about you, and find your truth. There's an opportunity here to find your truth. It's interesting, for those of you that have been with me a long time, do you remember my angel wing chair? She looks like she's sitting in it. I should bring that chair back. I stopped sitting in it when I moved my office in here on this desk, because this desk is so much higher than that chair. And so it doesn't work. But I miss that chair. It's in my living room, and I don't sit in it often enough. But if you go to my older videos, I have a beautiful chair that I got in Mexico that has big golden angel wings branched off of it. And I love it. And it reminds me of her sitting in that chair, knowing her truth, right? All right, let's see what the Sacred Destiny Oracle wants to say to us, too. It's also interesting, yesterday we had that transformation card, too. So it seems as though we are transforming something that was maybe unpleasant, confusing, or not at its best into something that is better clarified and more optimum or more in balance for us this week. All right. What do we got from Sacred Destiny? Oh, this is new. Leadership. And I love that it's represented by this white polar bear, right? The purity of this white polar bear. And polar bears, to me, the first thing that I think about is, when you watch those nature programs that like David Attenborough or whatever narrates, which I love those. When I used to get really heavily drunk, I used to watch those when I was hungover. They made me feel better. Like his voice was so soothing. And learning stuff about nature. I used to love just doing that. I always did that. It was always that or the Teletubbies. Don't ask me why. There was something very soothing about the Teletubbies when I was hungover. Anyways, enough about me. What I do want to say here is that What popped into my mind about polar bears is how oftentimes they're seen singularly moving along the ice, right? In these like sort of tundra-y or glacier-y kind of barren landscapes, right? They sort of blend into the landscape with their fur, and their fur is actually transparent, I believe. It reflects the white of the snow off of them, so they're not actually white. I've learned, right? But the only time you ever really see a polar bear with another polar bear, I mean, unless they're fighting and duking it out for territory or food, is when the mother bear is with a child, right? Until that child is ready to sort of leave her care. You don't, they're very much solitary kind of, I guess you would call them predators, right? But they also are very much sort of in tune to their environment in the sense that they sort of blend into the whiteness. They use the environment to their advantage. They are, apex predators, I would say, within their icy world, right? On that glacier or wherever they are. They're kind of the ones to beat. Um, what I like about this card, though, and I'm not sure if any of that makes sense, but what I'm saying is that it kind of ties into justice because I feel empowered with this leadership card, but I do feel like we might be empowered in a way that is solitary today. There's something about the solitary nature of this polar bear. And also the fact that where's my little pointer? This star is here, right? We're being led by maybe a higher intuition, a higher guidance, a higher sort of understanding or intelligence that is more in balance with who we are. It may be against the grain, right? It may leave us feeling a little bit on our own, but we're okay. The polar bear, in essence, is in. Hey, Sven. Little Sven pop in there in the background. The polar bear is uh, an agile sort of like singular hunter. He's like the lone wolf of the bear sort of world in a way. Uh, and so I think that we're okay if we blend into our environment today, if we learn from our environment, if we allow our environment to sort of not affect us, but assist us in learning whatever it is we need to learn to gain the truth, to bring about the balance that we need within our life, and to stand strong in that from a place of leadership, from a place of ownership, from a place of responsibility in that truth that gleams from this star. Let me read leadership to you guys. Leadership, North Star. In Western culture, we wish upon a star because the stars represent all that is illuminating and enchanting. They symbolize aspiration, illumination, inspiration, imagination, and wonder. Native people use the stars to find their way in the night. The North Star was often used as a kind of compass to make sure one was going in the right direction. The North Star symbolizes direction and guidance. It is a guiding light for those who can't find their way. It is one of the brightest stars in its constellation. The sacred landscape wants you to know, just as the North Star is a beacon for travelers in the dark of the night, you are a beacon for others. It is time to step into the light and take your leadership role. You are a teacher, steward, guardian, and healer, a true healer. Own those gifts. Come into the light. Don't hold back. Let the world see your light. The greatest leaders are those who know how to serve and act as stepping stones for others to reach their dreams. If you have been hiding in the background, it's time to break out and to become the light for others. Through this, your star shines brighter. I love that. That's what I try and do with this channel, to be honest, but it just doesn't seem to want to grow. But I want this channel to assist others in reaching their own heights, right? Whatever they may be, through validation and inspiration. So when I look at these two cards together, I feel like the truth of our light, of this North Star that resides within us, which would be like, symbolic of the truth of our own spirit, our own sort of moral, spiritual, emotional, and mental compass, should be leading us today. Even if that leadership feels a bit out of step with the world around us, that's okay. Let it be as it is. Own it, embrace it, take it, and move with it, and understand that it's there working in your favor. It is there working for you in truth and in sort of like the honor of the justice card. Now, here is the grounding stone for the day, and it is on carnelian, which is the root chakra, right? The first chakra. This one never wants to stand up. The word is embrace. And it's very simple to me. To me, I feel like this grounding stone is very obvious. We need to embrace this truth within us. We need to embrace our own intelligence, our own ability to communicate. We need to take ownership of that, take leadership with that, listen to our North Star and allow it to guide us. We need to shine brightly, right? And in that shining brightly, we are able to sort of cast light that might allow others to find their own light, right? We're not responsible for them finding their own light, but we can assist them. There's a quote I have here, and I'm just going to read it to you. I've read it to you guys over the years a couple of different times, and I believe it's Marianne Williamson, but I love it because it inspires me. And so I'm going to read it to you because I feel like it definitely ties into this reading. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small doesn't serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. You were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we consciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So in essence, we just trust and embrace our own light, our own truth, and that enables others to sort of follow suit, right? In the universe, like energy attracts like. So when we're in a miserable place, we oftentimes attract more miserable situations that match what we're experiencing or expecting. But when we're in a place of embracing ourselves and believing in ourselves and living from our truth, we're going to find others that need access to that. And we will, just by being who we are, they will match our energy and step into their own truth, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense this morning. It should be a really beautiful and powerful day for everyone. Enjoy it. Please share, comment, like, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing how this week ends out. We have Temperance coming. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.